All right, we're about to dive into an idea that really challenges everything we think we know about power. It's this proposal for building a better world, a whole kingdom even. And it's all packed into just 2 sentences from a theological text. And believe me, the logic it presents is completely, totally counterintuitive. So let's just start with a really fundamental question. If you wanted to build something that lasts, something so powerful you could call it a kingdom, how would you even go about doing it? Well, our source material has an answer that pretty much turns all the usual wisdom on its head. I mean, think about it. How is it usually done? All through history, the answers have been pretty much the same. You get some armies, you conquer territory, and you crush your rivals, right? It's a story of strength, of control, of victory. But what if there's a different way? A path to power that just flips that entire script completely upside down. And here you can really see the 2 paths side by side. On one side, you've got the world's standard playbook. Power through force, through conquest, through getting rid of your enemies. But on the other side, you have this absolutely radical approach. Power through sacrifice, through mercy, and, get this, loving your enemies. It sounds kind of impossible, doesn't it? I mean, how could that possibly build anything? Well, this radical path isn't just some vague, fuzzy philosophy. Our source text lays it out like a specific course of action, almost like a blueprint for a different kind of power. And it all revolves around one central, really powerful symbol. So, to really get this idea, you have to understand its core symbol, the lamb. Now, in this context, the lamb represents a complete and total rejection of violence. It stands for a kind of power that you don't find in dominating other people, but in selfless, sacrificial love. Honestly, it's the key that unlocks this entire concept. Okay, so this isn't about being passive at all. The source actually gives us 2 clear, active steps to take. First, you imitate that selfless, sacrificial model. And second, instead of meeting hostility with more hostility, you actively love your enemies. These 2 actions right here, they're the engine that drives this entire process. But why? Why do this? What's the actual point of these actions that seem so, counterproductive? Well, the text argues that it's all a mechanism to make something that's totally invisible, suddenly powerfully visible for the entire world to see. Think of it like this. The act of loving an enemy when they expect nothing but hatred, it's like holding up a giant mirror. And it doesn't just reflect the person who's doing the loving, it reflects a totally different kind of reality, a different set of rules for how the world could work. It forces everyone watching to just stop and see something they have never, ever seen before. And this is where our source text just spells it out for us. God's kingdom is revealed when the nations see this love in action. See, it's not some secret club or hidden doctrine, it's a public demonstration. The visible sacrifice becomes the proof of this other reality. Now, this public demonstration of radical love, it isn't just for show. No, it's designed to trigger a really profound and widespread reaction. It's actually meant to set off a chain reaction that leads to a fundamental change of heart and on a global scale. When people see mercy where they fully expected to see violence, it creates this incredible ripple effect. It completely shatters the cycle of retaliation. That whole an eye for an eye thing, it introduces a brand new variable into the human equation, one that you just can't easily ignore. This visible mercy becomes an unstoppable force for change. And so the source text brings it all home. It concludes that this mercy, put on display for everyone, that's the real catalyst. It's what ultimately moves people, even entire nations, to repentance. Which isn't just about saying you're sorry. It's about a fundamental change of heart, a total change in direction. This transformation isn't forced on anyone, it's inspired. So let's just trace this incredible chain of events one more time. It all kicks off when the world sees a real, genuine alternative to violence. That makes the idea of mercy feel tangible, real. This visible love then inspires a collective change of heart, and that leads to the final outcome, true repentance and transformation. It's a domino effect, and it's all started by a single, radical act of love. So when you boil it all down, what's the ultimate takeaway here? This whole world-changing idea can actually be distilled into a simple, incredibly powerful 3-step logic. This is it. This is the core engine of the whole idea. Sacrificial love leads to visible mercy, which in turn leads to global transformation. It's a theory of change that basically suggests true, lasting power doesn't come from the sword, but from the willingness to actually lay it down. And all of that leaves us with a pretty challenging final question, especially for the world we live in today, which is so often defined by conflict. What is the true power of loving an enemy? This idea suggests it's not just some nice moral ideal, but it might just be the most powerful, transformative force there is. Thanks for joining me to explore it.